Hello, and this time on the Mortgage and Protection Podcast, Paul is back from Brick to Brick Mortgage Solutions to continue the conversation on house surveys and valuations. Thank you for joining us again, Paul. Are you ready to answer some more questions?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, good to talk to you again, Tessa. Yeah, ready to go when you are.
Brilliant. Okay, well, let's see what else we've got here then. So, people would like to know which type of survey should I get for an older or listed building? And of course, we talked about a lot of the types, didn't we, in our part 1 episode?
Yeah, we did indeed. I mean, I think it'd be advisable to go for a level 3 survey. That is the one that goes into more depth. It's the most comprehensive option out there. Previously named a building survey. It can be for unusual properties, older properties, or ones that need extensive work. And it also gives you advice on the repairs that need completing. So a level 3 survey would be advisable there.
Right, okay. So hopefully that answers that one there for anyone wondering, or if you were wondering. Now, we talked a lot about new builds as well, didn't we, in our part 1 episode? So do new builds need a survey, just to confirm there?
Yes, like I say, you can get one done if you like. It is advisable to have one. It's called a snagging survey. It's on a new build home and it's for finding poor quality work that maybe hasn't been finished, or can include plumbing, electrical work, tiling, and things that aren't finished to a standard expected to be compliant with building regulations. Some people do get it done. They're not comfortable before. Basically comfortable before accepting a property. I think that, like I said before, really, new builds, the building work isn't always to the top standard that it should be. And I think that the likes of myself even probably wouldn't notice things, or definitely wouldn't notice things that some of these surveyors would notice. So I probably wouldn't buy a new build. And I'd want the peace of mind before purchasing one. So it's called a snagging survey, and I think that it's advisable to get one done. And we have contacts to put you in touch with on that.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's good news there. Hopefully that sounds reassuring. I think, yes, I'd probably be the same. In my opinion, I would want to get one of those done as well, if it was me. Okay, well, let's look at this question. So what are the most common problems found in house surveys?
There are many issues or problems that can be found, but the most common ones really damp, roof problems, electrics and plumbing are among the most common, really. So those 4 things.
Yes, okay, well, there we go. Hopefully that helps with that one there. And you've mentioned damp just there. So will the survey check for damp, rot, or subsidence?
But both the level 2 and level 3 will do that, but the level 2 one would visually inspect those. A level 3 survey, this would be more comprehensive and more of a thorough check for those things. So, and probably, well, yes, definitely they would then advise you a lot more on what to do with those.
Okay, well, there we go. That's good news as well. So moving on to this question now, will I get a full report after the survey?
Yes, you'll get a full report after the survey, and it can take anywhere between 5 and 10 days really for that to get out to you.
Right, okay. So that just gives you an idea of the timeframes there then. Right, this is interesting. Can the surveyor enter the loft or move furniture?
It's not generally known that they're gonna move the furniture. They generally won't move the furniture. But it is standard for them to get into the loft and have a look around there, because they need to see the roof space really to carry out the inspection to a thorough standard.
Yes, definitely. That makes sense, doesn't it? It's still, I guess, classed as a room, isn't it, the loft? Right, okay. So let's look at this question now. People would like to know, what should I do if the surveyor flags structural issues?
I think they should be flagged up with the vendor. Need to get quotes really to have the work done, and this is obviously depending on the severity of the structural work that you think is there. If you think there's a potential it's not too severe and you're happy to carry on with it, and then you can get quotes to have the work done, possibly renegotiate the price with the vendor if they'll allow that, and you can do that and then reassess the situation and what you want to do then after that. Or then you can decide what you want to do. Or even before that, you might think, actually, I don't want the hassle, and then walk away, then start again on another property. But if you get the quotes and you think there's a possibility, then they come back, then you can make an informed decision about what you'd like to do.
Yes, definitely. And hopefully that's reassuring to know there's different options that you can choose once you have, had all that done. So yeah, okay, brilliant. We're getting through these questions quite quickly actually. So let's look at this one. How is a property valuation calculated?
Generally, they look at the properties sold within an area over the last 6 months or so.
Hmm.
They also look at the rebuild cost and how much that would cost to rebuild. They look at the size of the property, and they also look at the positives and negatives about the location. If it's
Mm.
closer to a good school or park or
Mm.
landmarks or anything that's going to be attractive
Mm.
or maybe unattractive to a seller or to a buyer. Sorry, really. Yes,
Mm.
so they look at everything in order to bring everything together to calculate what the valuation of the property should be. Sometimes it's might be selling at an overvalue, so then they downvalue the property. But
Mm.
these are the things that are all brought into the equation.
Yes, which makes sense. There's lots of factors involved, isn't there, especially by the
Mm.
sounds of it. Now, can a mortgage be declined because of the valuation?
Yes, yeah, definitely can. The lender can downvalue the property, and that means they would then decline it.
Mm.
Also, there could be structural issues which they decline it on, but they can actually downvalue it. If they downvalue it, and then that could potentially put it out of the loan to value that the buyer has asked for,
Mm.
and then there are sometimes options on that. You could try and renegotiate the price with the seller of the property if they're open to this, or you could potentially, the worst case, you
Mm.
end up putting more money in yourself because of that down value. If
Right.
this happens, then we can look at all avenues. We look at the whole picture, and
Mm.
then on all the options available to you. So you've come to us initially. So what we'll do is we'll look at everything. We'll look at what the down value is. We'll look at what the loan to value would be on the property, what your options are as a whole, and give
Mm.
you, our client, all of the options. So then you can make a decision that's fully informed, and then you'll be able to
Yeah.
decide what you want to do.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that there. I keep using this word, but hopefully that does sound reassuring there. Now, we've actually covered all of the main extra questions for our part 2 episode. Paul, have you got anything else you'd like to add? I mean, we've covered quite a bit, haven't we, across our part 1 and part 2 episodes? But yes, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think we've covered a fair amount there. Definitely.
Mm.
Like I always say, really, anyone that's listening today, if you have any questions or anything, just contact us, and we'll help you in any way that we can.
Brilliant. Okay, well, that's a great note to end on there. Thank you ever so much, Paul, once again. Hopefully, that has all proved useful to anyone listening to this, and I'm sure we'll speak to you again on the podcast soon.
I'm sure we will. Thanks, Tessa. Speak to you soon.
Speak soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
Please note, your home may be repossessed if you do not keep up with your mortgage repayments.